The owner of the pub was considering putting in planning permission to build some houses on the land and to use the money to develop the pub. We didn't think that the pub would benefit from having a massive input of cash. It would have modernised the pub. We wanted to keep it pretty much as it is. There was some dispute about whether housing on that particular spot was the right thing to do, and the owner of the pub, Michael Chittenden, was happy to sell the pub to us.
Well, I guess as a community we decided to buy the pub largely because some of us were very worried about some of the proposed developments with the pub and the land opposite, and we were just looking at alternative ideas, and it kind of snowballed from that. There was a smallish group of us that talked about what other kind of options could we do, and we came up with the idea of, well, we could always buy it as a community, and then we looked online, found some other models for the way people have bought their pubs before, and took it from there, really.
My initial reaction was it was relief, really, because I was very worried about the pub itself, its future in the community. But I was overjoyed actually when I heard. I think it was Paul that first mentioned it to me, and no, very happy about it, and hope it goes well in the future. It will go well in the future.
The offer was accepted, which was just so exciting, and we were very, very excited about it ourselves, because we feel that this pub is quite unique in the fact that it's right in the centre of a village and it's in an area of outstanding natural beauty.
Within about a month we decided that we would go ahead and put an offer in on the pub. We put an offer in which we thought was a fair price. The offer was accepted, and then we were faced with a prospect of, or problem of, having to find the money, and we just basically stuck our toe in the water and saw what happened, and a few people put money in, and then it gathered some momentum, got a bit of press coverage, and it just grew from there. And once we got to about £200,000, it was pretty easy. The money just came in because people had confidence.
I was very surprised at how easily it came together. We thought initially, how can we ever possibly raise £450,000? Will people be interested? And indeed, some people that we talked to start with were saying, oh, that will never happen, people won't care. But actually, we got a huge positive response to the first few public meetings we had. And yes, some people had questions and were a little cautious, understandably, if you're going to invest money. But very soon we realised that people were prepared to put their money where their mouth was. And surprisingly, within a couple of months, we'd raised about 300,000, and it started to look as if it would be a venture that would happen.
Well, basically, we've known the village for 10, 12 years. We came up at the caravan site, got to know all our friends in the Sorrel Horse, as you do, and with my business as a local builder, I thought I could be of use to the committee, and that's sort of really it. It's just a case of loving the village, loving the pub. I've made really good friends, and I thought whatever experience I've got, I could put to good use.
Well, I invested because this is a beautiful pub, lovely place. I really wanted to see it survive, and one of the main reasons we came to the village was because of the pub, and I just think it's a social centre for the community, and so much fun. It's just so much fun being here, so really I just wanted to make sure that it kept going.
Well, it was fantastic to actually have the money there to buy the pub, but we were, at the same time, it was a little bit scary because we thought now there's no going back, and we've got to go ahead with it now and do what we said we're going to do.
Oh, now the community owns a pub. It's the effect it's had is tremendous, because everyone's getting to know each other a lot better. Lots of people that you haven't previously known who they were, and they're now becoming friends. So it's really building up the social community of the village. It's great.
Already we've seen a big increase in sales due to the publicity surrounding the buyout. Hopefully we can keep that going throughout winter, and then on into next year.
Well, I think to date there's about 155 people who have invested. They range from people who live in Shottisham on the peninsula, as far away as Sweden, that's my sister, and Australia, my cousin, but I think there's also people in Oman and other parts of the world too. Who are they? Everybody. Some people have bought a lot of shares, some people have just bought one. Some people use the pub a lot, other people just think, yes, it's a great community enterprise, why not put into it? Some people are doing it because they want to preserve a place that they drink in, that they eat in, something that's part of the village, and other people are doing it because they see it as a wise financial investment. So it's all sorts of people, really.
The financial benefits include the Enterprise Investment Scheme, which is a government tax concession whereby if you buy £1,000 worth of shares, you will get 30% tax relief. That is to say that you can put in a claim by the end of this tax year and the taxman will deduct £300 from your tax bill. The whole thing is a profit-making venture, there's no question of that. We've gone into business with an intention of making a profit, and ultimately we don't expect to pay a dividend this year. I don't think that's realistic, and we've said that right from the beginning. But next year we should be looking at a dividend. We're hoping somewhere between 3 and 5%, but we'll let you know as the year goes on. So it should be a good investment. Any share that can pay 3% even in today's financial climate is not a bad share, especially when you've only effectively paid 70% of its real price.
Well, apart from the obvious financial benefit of owning shares and getting a dividend and getting tax relief on it, there's the benefit of being part of the pub, having ownership of the pub. The pub that you drink in is partly your pub. That's why we've had such an increase in turnover since we bought the pub, is that a lot of people who didn't used to come to the pub all that often are now much more incentivised to come here because they've got a stake in it and they feel ownership and they want to make it work properly.
We've got the pub, we now need some extra finance, let's get it going.
Don't sit back and think that it's all finished, we've got the money, we've got the pub, that's it. We need this extra money so that we've got some working capital, and also so that we can do the renovations that we'd planned and some other exciting projects, both with the Pikel and the land opposite. So we would ask people to buy some more shares, or let anyone you know, tell anyone you know about this opportunity, that there are shares still available. Encourage people to, own a little bit of a beautiful local pub.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a really great thing we've done, and we're all really proud of it. And I think that in the years to come, I think we'll look back on it with a great deal of pride. And the pub will continue forever now. There's no going back. There's no way it's going to be bought by a multiple or an individual who's going to turn it into housing. The pub is safe now for the village, and we need the pub in this village. It's an essential part of the village. If there wasn't a pub here, this village would die.